Hi, this is Charlie Calvert. Let's talk about how to push a private repository up into BitBucket. As you can see, I'm at the BitBucket homepage. I'm logged in, and first thing we're going to do is create that repository. I'm going to press the Create button. I'm going to call it My Video Test 02. I'm not going to give it a description. I'm going to say it's a private repository. I'm going to say it's Git. Using issue tracking and wiki is great, but we don't need it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and create my repository. Alright, so now I've got a repository to work with. Next thing I need is some content to put in it. So I'm going to go to an area that I've set aside to create some content, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a new folder, and I'll call it my Video Test 02. I could call it anything I want, and inside of here I'm going to place some content. In this particular case, I'll put in a readme.md file. That's a markdown file, which is a format used very commonly in the world of the web. And I'm going to put a little content in here. My Video Test 01. When I put a double underline in it, that means that when it's seen in certain viewers, it'll appear as a heading 1. And then this is some content for my README. Okay, so now we've created a little bit of content that we've placed inside of our folder here. You can put lots of other content in here, lots of JavaScript files, Python files, C# files, C++, any kind of content you want. Text files are best, but if you got some bitmaps and things you need to include, go for it. Git will handle it just fine. Now, what we've got right now at this moment is just a plain ordinary directory. I have Git installed and it's on my path. So I am going to initialize this directory, turn it from a normal directory into a local Git repository. So I type git init. Now I've initialized my repository. I can type git status, and it tells me that it's got a document in this repository called readme, but it's currently untracked. So I'll do git add readme.md and then git commit -m, and my message I'll type in here is initial commit. And I could have whole folders in here, nested folders, but right now I just have this one file. So now I type git status, and you can see that we're good. Everything's clean here. All we got to do is push it up to our repository. How do we do that? Well, we could memorize all the Git commands, or we could just come up here where BitBucket, as many of these types of tools do, gives us a little help and says, I have code I want to import. So I click that. It says first navigate to the directory where your repository exists. Well, we've already done that. And then it says type in this particular line of text, and notice that this line of text is customized for us. It knows about the My Video Test 02.git repository, and it's telling us that we're going to use SSH to talk to bitbucket.org in C Calvert. That's my repository inside my site on BitBucket inside a particular repository called My Video Test. So I'm going to come back here and paste that text in here, and what this text is telling the repository is that your remote origin, the place where your repository lives out in the cloud, is on BitBucket in C Calvert's area in a particular repository called My Video Test 02. So that's what all that syntax means. We push that in, and it just absorbs that. We could talk in some other video where it goes, the config file and so on, and the .git directory where all that goes. But right now we don't need to do that. All we really want to do is push it up there. Okay? So I'm going to choose this next line, which says push everything up to the origin. What's the origin? That's what we defined in the previous line. We said remote, git remote add origin, and we said the origin's BitBucket, C Calvert's area, My Video Test 02 git. So here we're going to say push all the content in this repository, which is just our README file, up there. So I give that command, and it goes ahead and it pushes it up there. What does that mean? It puts a copy of it into the version control system in BitBucket. So we'll go up there, and then we'll do a little refresh here now. I'll just press F5, I guess, to get a refresh, and now you can see that it's showing an actual existing repository. In particular, we can go to the source directory, we can see the README file with the content in it we just were looking at. Or if we go back to the overview, we can see that 26 seconds ago, Charlie Calvert pushed one commit to this repository. Okay, that's basically all you need to know. But I tend to ramble, so I'm going to ramble on for another minute or two about stuff you might want to know. One of the things is I'm on Windows, and on Windows there's a tool called PuTTY, and it's good for doing SSH transactions back and forth between your Windows machine and some other place on the web, or some other SSH server up somewhere. In this case, our SSH server is BitBucket. So I've installed PuTTY on my system. I just went crazy and ran the PuTTY install right here. And then when I was done, there was a utility that was installed called Pageant. And Pageant allows you to add in SSH keys to it, so you can just add keys. You can see I've got lots of keys here, and that's absurd. I only need one key or a couple of them. It's just an absurd number of keys, but we'll get into that some other time. And right now, you can see that I've loaded one of those keys into Pageant. That means that my SSH key is loaded into memory on this machine. Now, SSH keys are like lovers, right? Over here we've got one lover, and over somewhere on BitBucket we have his mate, his soulmate, in his both senses of the word soul. His one and only and his most dear mate is up there. And if you look up here in Manage Account on BitBucket, you'll see that there's an SSH key area, and in here I've added a public key. So what is that public key that I've loaded in there? What is that all about? Well, there's another tool that comes with PuTTY, and it's called PuTTY. And if you load PuTTY and then you choose to load the key that you're working with, in this particular case, I will load the key or some random key that just seems to interest me, and then you'll see this public key that's associated with it up here, and I'm going to select that public key. I'm going to copy it, then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say some key, and I'll just paste that key in here, right, into the BitBucket thing. And now I have created romance between this key, public key here, and the lonesome guy who's sitting back on my Windows machine waiting to find his true love. And the thing that connects them together is this fact that this private key here in Windows is loaded into Pageant, and the public key, his mate, his true love, his soul love, is up here on Pageant. Okay, and then because those keys are all set up, all I have to do is do things like make an edit. Oops, I can't type anymore, which is sad, and then do a get status, see that things have changed, do a get add on README, do a get commit, updated my README file, and then a get push, and it just goes up there because I have the SSH key loaded. I'm not prompted for any passwords. My life is good. It's just smooth and wonderful, and it's SSH'd. It just makes life good. I'm Charlie Calvert. I've given you probably more than you want to ever know about Git, but there's lots more to learn. But this at least gets you started so you can start using Git. Git is the key to life. In today's Windows world, no, today's internet-based, cloud-based world, you need something to tie it all together. Git is the glue that ties the cloud together. That's my opinion. That's like completely random point of view, but it's my totally subjective point of view about it. BitBucket's nice, GitHub's nice, SourceForge nice, lots of good places to put your repositories, but we just happen to show you using BitBucket. Thank you again. My name's Charlie Calvert, elvenware.com. You can read more. Just go to elvenware.com/Charlie. In the search box, type in the word Git, and you'd find lots more information. Lots more information up when you go to elvenware.com, Charlie. And then right here in the search box, you just type in the word Git, right? And you see some ads, right, because we live in the 21st century, but then you find the first thing that's me, and then you just, here's all the stuff I was just telling you in excruciating, painful detail, and lots more that you never wanted to know. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy working with Git. There's nothing better than Git. It's pure joy. All right, thanks now. Bye.